Hey everyone, it's Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about our first paycheck for the month of April, how we broke everything down, and how we categorize things by necessities. Being now on one income, it's really been a bit challenging, I must say, when it comes to figuring out what we are to prioritize and really plan when it comes to creating a realistic budget, because the point of a budget is really to give you a guide, but also to be realistic and honest about your spending and where you can cut back. So in today's video, I'll show you exactly what our first paycheck of April looks like and how we made a plan to use the percentage formula or the method, and then also break things down in our categories for what is realistic and what we are really wanting to challenge ourselves for the month of April. So if you guys are interested to see what our first paycheck for the month of April looks like, then keep on watching. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you a paycheck budget looks like, and I will talk you guys through it face to face so we can kind of get an understanding of creating and breaking down your paycheck budget. So you could be paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, bi-monthly. It all depends on your company, or if you're self-employed yourself, how you want to pay yourself. So when it comes to creating a monthly overview of what is your plan, what is your goals for the month, your paycheck budget is where you get really deep and you focus on how you're going to reach your goal that you set for the month. That's essentially what we do when we break down our paycheck budgets. What you're gonna see up at the top is the income, and the income that we had paid my husband from his business was $12.50. Right beneath that, you're gonna see the percentage formula, which I definitely try to have us live off of 70%, but there's certain things where it's just not possible. And I totally understand, because we are kind of in a transitioning phase when it comes to us figuring out the right pay schedule for my husband, how much he really is going to be paid. So it truly all depends. Right now, we're kind of in, like I said, that transition where we don't know what his income is gonna look like each payday, because things just happen in the work that he does. It's just been challenging. So we're gonna walk through this and learn together. But this is how we broke down his first pay of April. We had to try to figure out how we can live off of 80% of what his income is. 80% came to $1,000. And oh, let me backtrack. How you figure out your percentage, it's written in on my worksheets. You just take your income and you multiply it by the percentage that you want to live off of. So I recommend, if you are in debt, you tend to have a little bit more expenses going out because you have to pay your debt minimum payment. So start with 80% to kind of get the gist of it, and then you can work your way down to trying to live off of 70% of what your income is. So for this pay, we're trying to live off of 80%, and that is $1,000. And then our goal amount, we're breaking it down into 10%, which is $125, along with our tithe. We always tithe 10% of our income. We just take those numbers and we plug them into our paycheck budget worksheet. So the first one is the giving. This is the first thing that we do. We always tithe, or we always try to give like an offering, or to just donate to the community and see what we can help with. And it's just really been a blessing to us. So our tithe goes to our church, and that's $125. So you take the income and you subtract the giving, it gives us a remaining amount of $11.25. And this is the number that we're gonna break down to break it into our expenses, the variable spending for the different categories, and then also savings goals that we have. So when we look at our expenses, we always look at the bill tracker breakdown, and that's how we just make it not overwhelming to us when we are breaking down our paycheck budget. So I literally just go down the line of the bill tracker, and it makes it so much easier and less stressful for us when it comes to breaking down our paycheck budget. So I go down the line of April, the 9 bill tracker breakdown. So we have MetaShare as $81.50. Our rent is $375. We have ID theft, electric, car insurance, our phone, our utilities, and then trainer. Now we get into like a variable. So we have our gas. One thing that we made an adjustment on because my husband has his business, there are certain items that really is a business expense and it no longer can come out of our personal account because it truly is solely used for my husband's business. So we've taken away our storage payment, but we have a storage unit and it only holds my husband's tools. So he has like a ton of tools and we had been paying for that from our personal account, but truly it was a business cost and we should not have been paying it out of our personal account. So that's a lesson learned. And also any gas that he puts into his car, he truly only uses his vehicle for going to jobs and for his business. I have my car and we use my car for personal, like going to church, travel, grocery runs, anything like that. We just use my car for that. So we've kind of separated the two where he'll have his card for his business account and he fills his car with gas using his business account, and that's no longer coming out of our personal account. I only use our personal account for filling up gas for my car. So if you want a little bit more in depth of how I've separated our like personal expenses versus our business expenses, let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can help in any way. So our gas budget for our personal account has definitely dropped because we only have one car that we budget out for gas, and then we have a miscellaneous. We usually always budget out $50. So the total expenses from this paycheck budget, it comes to $767.91. And so if we look at the percentage formula, we said our goal is to live off of $1,000, which is 80% of what our income is. So we still have a few other like variable categories that we want to be realistic and budget out for, but we do want to kind of tighten up on some other spending, and one of them is eating out. So for the month of April, we're wanting to lessen the amount of eating out that we've been doing, and we want to make it a point to cook more at home and just be more intentional when it comes to our food outings, are going out and just being kind of reckless when it comes to that part of our budget. And this is just truth and just being honest with our actual spending. And so that's one thing that I definitely recommend you guys to do if you haven't done it. Be honest with yourself. How much is it that you actually spend on certain things and what is it that you can cut back on? So for eating out, we're budgeting out $40 to go into our category, which is our tracker that I have in my wallet. Groceries, $150 is what we're budgeting out for. And then we get to the allowance for my husband and I. We're only giving ourselves $20 because we've done some major spending and we have a big goal of saving for a house down payment, and that's more important than us just buying random stuff. So there's that. We each get $20, so the total cost that we've budgeted out for the category total is $230. So we're still a few dollars below what our goal amount of the $1,000 is, which is awesome. So then we get to the sinking funds. And if you don't know what sinking funds is, then definitely let me know in the comments. I can see if I can explain it a little bit better in a dedicated video. We have 3 sinking funds that we're just applying a little bit of funds to right now. So the total amount for sinking funds is $75. And then this leaves us with $52.09 to be applied to our home savings, which is our saving for a down payment. Now, what I want to explain is that $52, it may seem like such a small amount, and how is it that we're gonna reach our goal with just adding $52? It's the daily decisions that we make, and we're really focused on being intentional this year when it comes to us saving for our future home. And I don't want to make the same mistake that I made before. When it came to us buying our last home that we sold in 2020, we want to be wise. And so So I'll be sharing things that we have done and we're actually in the process of doing right now to help us accumulate a little bit more to apply it to our home savings. One of them is we're selling some of our furniture that we have. It's just kind of taking up clutter and it makes no sense for where we live now, and it's not our style anymore. So why not just sell it on either the marketplace or Craigslist, things like that, where we can just make a little extra buck. So if you guys have any other ideas of how we can grow our savings when it comes to a saving for our home down payment, let us know in the comments. I do have a Facebook group where we can just kind of encourage one another, and I haven't really posted a lot in that group, but you can find it on Facebook. It's called Budget Essentials for Success, and it should be just a place where you can motivate each other, how you're saving money, how you're making a little bit of extra money, and questions that you might have where we can get a little bit more personal and just encourage each other. So that is my paycheck budget for the month of April, the first one, and I'm so excited to see really what this year brings, what our goals look like when it comes to finishing up the month of April. But if no one has told you yet, I believe in you. Let's do this together. Let's try not to give in to those temptations of us just buying things instantly instead of stopping, thinking, processing, and just making sure, does it align with our goals? So that is everything for today's video. Let me know if you have any questions or any other video suggestions. This was a little bit different. Let me know if you like it or you want me to go back to how it was before, but I just like a face-to-face conversation with you guys, and yeah, just getting a little bit more personal and real. So if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys right here in a brand new video. Bye guys!